Hey guys, welcome back to IO1. This is Steve here. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that button now. Smash that like button to help this channel out. Now, I've really looked back at my channel and I've only been able to upload 4 videos this year, which includes this one. And it's already almost the end of the year. Well, to be honest, there hasn't been a lot of great tech that has come my way. Things are pricey and I support everything with my own money. So, how are we going to kick off the end of the year? Well, it's something that I love to unbox and to review, and that's with a keyboard. So I've looked at the Keychron series before, and I've generally stuck with Keychron because I'm pretty big fan of them. I'm not a keyboard enthusiast, but I started off with Keychron, so I kind of kept with them. I'm sure there are many great kind of custom keyboards out there. In the end, today I'm going to unbox the Q1 Max. Now, you know that I've unboxed the V1 before, the K8 Pro, the K3 Pro, and they're all different size boards and different layouts. They're all generally pretty similar except for maybe the K3 Pro. But Q1 Max must be the pinnacle of Keychron's design, well, at least in my opinion. It's one of their premium custom boards, one of their most expensive boards. So I'm going to be doing unboxing of that. Let's kind of talk about Q1 Max and where it came from. So the Q1 actually started a while ago. I don't have the date with me, but the Q1 was the initial kind of premium line from Keychron. It featured the full aluminum body, super heavy. It had double gasket design, so there was a bit of flex on the keyboard. And generally, it was very well regarded as a premium keyboard from Keychron when it first came out. They had some sound issues. People were complaining about high ping when they're typing. They came up with the Q1 version 2, which improved the sound. And then they came up with the Q1 Pro, which eventually added, I believe, wireless to it. I'm not really sure. Anyways, at that point, there was a lot of changes. Keychron actually came up with like so many different lines at that time. And then finally, they came up with the Q1 Max, which really surprised everyone because it really came shortly after the Q1 Pro. And the major difference between the Q1 Pro and the Q1 Max, I believe, is the use of the 2.4 gigahertz dongle for wireless keyboard. I think they figured out in the end eventually that it was just more stable using the 2.4 gigahertz dongle rather than just sticking with Bluetooth. So let's talk about some of the specs and we'll go into the unboxing and then we'll move on to a sound test so you can kind of hear what it sounds like. Hopefully I'll be able to compare it again to the V1, which I purchased before. Okay, so the Q1 Max is a 75% layout keyboard, meaning it has all the keys, it has all the function keys on the top. The only thing it doesn't have is your keypad on the side. It comes with what's called KSA double shot PBT keycaps, which are nice keycaps because they are oil resistant. They don't really fade away. And also KSA, I believe, is the shape of the keys. I heard it's a little taller than your general ones. Again, it's a full aluminum bad boy, so it weighs 1.7 kilograms, which is really heavy. And to be honest, if there was a thief or a robber who came into my house and this is what I had right beside me, it'd probably be something I'd use as a weapon. Well, anyways, hope that never happens. And remember, kids, do not drop this keyboard on your floor. It will probably break the floor rather than break the keyboard. It is a keyboard that comes with Keychron Gateron Jupiter switches. It comes in either red switch, brown switch, or banana switch. The browns and the banana switches are both tactile, with the bananas having a higher resistive force. They're both tactile, and the red one again is the linear. They kind of got away with the blue clicky kind of switches now. I'm not really sure why, but maybe people just didn't like it because it was too loud. Anyways, same things. It comes with QMK and VIA support to reprogram keys as needed. It is hot swappable and it has the south-facing LEDs. Not a lot of people are a big fan of the south-facing. I think because a lot of the keycaps, they like it in the north-facing. Looks better. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I use it, but it's there and it's kind of just a gimmicky feature. But it looks nice. It looks nice in the dark. Finally, it has the 2.4 gigahertz wireless dongle, also has the Bluetooth connectivity. You can also connect it wired. It has both the Mac and Windows switch at the top. And one of the defining features of the Q1 Max, or the Q1 line in itself, is actually the number of foam and acoustic layers that it has inside to give the perfect kind of sound. I think this one has 6 layers. It has 3 on the top, and then underneath the PCB it has another 3. They're made of different materials, including IPTX, I think it's called, PET, and foam. Remember, Keychron is known to be customizable, so it actually comes with screwdrivers. You can take apart the whole keyboard, change padding, change the foam, and so forth, all the way to your liking. Finally, it continues with the double gasket design, so it has a flex. Now, I've never experienced this before. All my keyboards in the past, they've all did not have a double gasket design or even a gasket design, so it's fixed. When you press on it, it's just a solid keyboard. Whereas this one, if you press on it, I believe it goes in a bit. So it's supposed to be enhancing your typing experience. The angle, one of the big differences is because it's a block of aluminum, it doesn't have any feet on it, and that might be an issue. I mean, it's fixed at 5.2 degrees typing angle, whereas the V1 that I had feet, which were able to come out and give you 2 different angles. I think it was 3 degrees and 5 degrees. Well, we'll see what it looks like. Finally, the MSRP of this bad boy is $289.99 Canadian. I never buy things at full price. And I purchased this one from One of Zero, which is a Canadian website or Canadian distributor of Keychron, as well as other keyboards. And I really recommend them because they are generally actually cheaper than Keychron itself. They have big sales like Black Friday, which is where I bought it on. And their shipping generally is a little bit lower because we're in Canada, and I guess somehow the shipping cost is a bit cheaper for them to buy in large quantities. Sometimes I find it's actually cheaper than the Keychron website itself. Anyways, I brought this for $199.99. Now here's the kicker. You know, Keychron, sorry, not Keychron, One of Zero has a Black Friday sale, 30% off. That's what I got it at. Set it to $199.99. At $200, you get an additional free mouse pad. I'm missing a cent here. Made the deal, and I bought an extra set of 4 keycaps. I think they're rubber keycaps that go over your old ones or existing ones, just to make it look a little bit nicer. Anyways, it was the cheapest thing on the website to make it cross the threshold, and I was able to get a free mouse pad. So we'll take a look at that. It's going to be in the box as well. And hopefully after this video, you get an idea of what the Q1 Max looks like. There's hundreds of probably videos out there with Q1 Max. This is my take on it. Hope you like it. Let's get into the unboxing. So this is the box that it came in, and don't be alarmed because there's the keypad in there, the mouse pad in there, keycaps, and the keyboard. Okay, so I'm gonna just put this down, and you know, I kind of upgraded my scissors, but I don't know if this is actually gonna work. I use this for another project. So let's just open this up. Actually, I have to say, this might not have been the best idea because even though this is sharp, this is for actually some important fine detail projects, and cutting a box like this really just destroys this blade. Okay, so let's put this away and open the box up. So this came in FedEx. Normally, I believe if you're just getting the keyboard, it'd be a smaller box. So this is your keyboard, the Key1 Max. It's my $6.99 set of keys. Okay, they're orange or yellow. And finally, a free gift from One of Zero. Well, you know, I bought this to make it free. It's a mouse pad, so it's a 900 by 400, I believe. It's a large mouse pad. And we are going to first unbox the Q1 Max. Actually, you know what? If you want to skip it, you can skip it to the next part. I'm going to unbox the mouse pad first, just because I want to use it on top of this one. Okay, so this is the One of Zero mouse pad. It is called the I'm not really sure what this one's called. There is a name for it, but anyways, let's just open it up so we can take a quick look and we'll get on to the unboxing. So that sound you heard was actually the overhead camera, which just ran out of batteries, unfortunately. Okay, so this mouse pad, I chose it because it's nice and dark colored. And this is what it looks like. I don't know if it actually looks nice. What do you guys think? You let me know. It does feel very premium. It has a nice little tag here on the side. All right, so let's put that on top of my old one. It's a free gift, so I can't complain. All right, so let's get on to the unboxing for the Keychron. So as I said, this is pretty heavy. And on the front, I purchased the black version. The keycaps come in the white and the kind of the green accent. There is two other versions of this. There's the shell white color and also the purple color. They all look pretty nice, but I wanted to get kind of a classic color. So this is the one I got, the carbon black. It's brown tactile, and otherwise on the back tells you what kind of specs there are: double gasket design, Mac and OS compatibility. It has the polling rates, which is 1000 hertz when it's on the 2.4 gigahertz system, and or wired, and also has the lighting effects that you can deal with. Okay, so let's get to the unboxing. All right. Hope I don't scratch the box this time. Okay, so first things first is that the box has the shell. Let's take that out. Put that down here. Okay, so has the Keychron logo. Let's pop it open. I'm kind of excited because this is probably one of the last keyboards I'll be getting. Okay. All right, so it has a block of foam here just for design, but I've heard you can use this actually inside the keyboard. So we'll put that on the side. And in the box right here, you can see the instruction manual, how to use and how to start up this keyboard. So we're gonna go over that. In the box, there is, first of all, a USB to USB-C connector, which I think this is for charging the keyboard or keeping it in a wired set. All right, what do we have here? We have some screws and some foam 3M stickers, and these are probably some sort of acoustic kind of tools. You have your KSA double shot PBT keycaps for the Windows. I guess by default it's put into the Mac keys. And then here you have again a key switch, which actually looks better than the one that I got for the V1. Let's take it out actually. So there's your Allen key and then your switch here. So this is on the bottom here is you can pull out your switch, and this is for your keycaps. So you kind of pop it in and then pull it out, okay? It just kind of helps with it. And this is a screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver to unscrew the keyboard. What else is in here? There is the dongle. So I think this is your 2.4 gigahertz dongle. Let's pull that out. Right here. And then this is, I think, an extension so that you can plug this into your computer. And then you can actually plug this in here, I believe. And then that allows you to kind of put the receiver right beside the keyboard, or you can either just plug it to the back of your keyboard. Either one works. Okay, so here's the keyboard. Okay, wow, so heavy. So I'm going to put this on the side and just going to close the box. There's nothing else in the box other than lots of foam. Okay, so let's put that back in. And let's get to the keyboard. Okay, so 1.7 kilograms. And let's unbox this here. So let's get the tape out. All right, so here's your keyboard. All right, so first of all, again, this is the carbon black. It comes with white keycaps and a green accent. These keys here are kind of like a slightly navy blue or dark blue. On the front of the keyboard right here, you see there's kind of a little logo there. That's actually the wireless transmitter, I believe. They put a hole in the aluminum frame so that the signal can get through. You have your connectors here, so USB-C, so if you want to operate in the wired mode. And then on the middle, you have Windows and Mac layout, so you can switch between the two different layouts. And then finally, you have Bluetooth, wireless, and some other logo here that's kind of like a arrow. I'm not really sure what that one is. Okay, so on the bottom, there's little grommets here, or rubber feet, I guess, to prevent it from scratching anything. You got these nice gold screws around, which you can actually unscrew and look inside. And then at the front, it's not too much of the front, actually. That's really all there is. And the back, there's nothing there. So this keyboard actually came out, I think it was maybe 2 years ago or 1 year ago. Right after it came out, Keychron came out with what's called the Lemokey P1, which is almost exactly the same design. It's just as heavy, about half the price. So I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe they're going on with new materials. I do know that they're on the Lemokey, the input, the plugs here are actually centered or a little bit into the center, so it's a bit different design. But other than that, you know, I'm not really sure. I was trying to get a hold of that one, but I couldn't. By the way, the Q1 Pro has a nice knob. It's textured, so you can actually, it's not smooth, which is great. Okay, so that's really the keyboard. I'm really excited to give this a try, actually. This is kind of what it sounds like from this distance. So these are the browns, Skater-On browns, or Jupiter browns. So it's really thocky, almost like a milky thocky. That's what I have to kind of, the way I would describe it. Feels great to type. The KSA profile is a little higher than the other kind of keyboards. The knob, you can press it, if you can hear that. And I kind of like it because the KSA has a kind of a slope that's really high, and I can kind of hook my finger on it, which I don't know if you know what I mean, but it feels pretty good. Okay, so this is what it sounds like. Not bad. All right, so I'm gonna go and now get the V1 and put it side by side so you can take a look at it. Now you can see here, this is the V1 with the feet, and these are the key, the switches. One's much heavier, by the way. So they look very similar. I mean, they are the same layout, but this one is plastic and this one is aluminum body. And I'm going to try to do a sound test for you guys because my overhead camera actually stopped working, out of battery. So hopefully you can hear it. All right, so one thing I noticed that the Q1 Max definitely sounds more blunted in terms of its tactile sound profile. It's kind of milky, if you know what I mean. Whereas the V1, this one is a bit more crisp. Now, having said that, this is actually not the original switches. This one actually, I changed it to a Durock T4s, which have very high input resistance or force, because I wanted something that's a bit stronger so I wouldn't mistype. And you know, it actually sounds pretty good too. And I actually have a set of baby kangaroos which I was meaning to put in, so if I don't like these ones, the Gateron Jupiter Browns, then I may switch it to the baby kangaroos. Anyways, let me know what you think of the Q1 Max and whether or not at $199, which is already a Black Friday sale, whether or not that was a good deal, and whether or not this is something that would interest you. All right, this is probably the last video of 2024. If I come out with another one, that will be a bonus. I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and see you later.